Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reagan Harrell, former very average punter at Weber International University. Shout out the Sun Conference, shout out Babson Park. That is Carly Fitzer, former All-American. Shout out Midland, shout out the other Warriors, shout out the G-Pack. Carly Fitzer, season four, season four, season four, season four. Four's in the chat. Fourth quarter. We're just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into season four, episode one of NAISB. Carly, it's going to be a great year, dog.
Dude, that was a crazy intro, and I think that sets a tone for the year.
It sets a tone because I want everybody to know we ain't slowing down. There's no
Mm-mm.
slowing down, whether if you're in frigid Omaha, Nebraska, or sunny, frost-proof Florida. This is how far we are, about 1,800 miles apart, but one screen, two screens, one screen, your screen, live on Urban Edge Network. Be also dropping at noon or 1 o'clock. I think we're going to go, yeah, 9 and noon, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, live on the Urban Edge Network every Monday and Thursday, all the way through the opening round. And we'll drop on demand on YouTube at noon Eastern Time throughout the year. Let's just go ahead. We're setting the standard. We're setting it how we're going to do it. Carly,
Hit it.
we're doing things a little bit different this year. I think we found the money's on year four of NAISB, year three with Reagan and Carly P. I think we found a money zone for how we want to preview conferences. Let's be honest, going through team by team and all the conferences, we're all about fair. We're all about love. And by God, when we get into season, you know how we do things. We are going to talk a lot of softball. These conference previews, we're going to go by category. We've got categories to go through and kind of preview the year, including the basic ones, player of the year, pitcher of the year, some fun ones like breakout player, surprise team. Of course, we're going to give our prediction for the regular season champs. We're not going to do tournament champs. How can we do that? There'll be a time and a place come April for that. And also, when we're talking conference championships and conference championships roll around, I'll be a married man, Carly Fitzer.
Dang straight,
How
man.
about that? How about I think that's the big news. Well, we'll talk a little bit about us before we get rolling into the AAC. And before we even do that, we're going to talk some it's a couple of takes from the top 25. But we're going to just reintroduce ourselves real quick. Of course, if you're new to the program, it's for you. If not, a little refresher. Like I said, I'm Reagan Harrell.
Listen to it
Started. Yeah,
anyways.
yeah, yeah. I mean, real quick. It's our elevator pitch. Like I said, my name is Reagan Harrell. Went to college at Weber International University. 2022 rolled around. I was studying computer information systems. Absolutely despised it. Long story short, ended up covering Weber and Southeastern at the 2022 NAIA Softball World Series near my hometown of Albany, Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia, and I fell in love with NAIA softball. Fast forward to 2023 World Series. That girl right there, Carly Fitzer, goes absolutely insane against Our Lady of the Lake. Pretty good little game. Shout out Bruce. Shout out our guy.
Shout out our members.
Which, of course, that's a big offseason news when we get to the Mid South for preview. Of course, new coaches all over. That was obviously the big one with Our Lady of the Lake head coach Bruce Langton heading to the University of Cumberland. Actually, did an interview with him and their athletic director Chris Kraftic right here on Urban Edge Network. But yeah, that's how NAISB came about. Like I said, going on 3 years with Carly. And yeah, we love what we do. We love NAIA softball. We're going to be doing a lot of
Yeah.
live coverage this year. Already got a couple places picked out. And obviously, we're going to be doing the podcast twice a week, like I said, all throughout the year. Previews, picks, recaps, interviews, yada, yada, yada. Year four. We know what we're doing. We love what we do. Carly, you got anything else?
Oh, brother. No. I think you touched on it all. I mean,
If
I
you
can't
can't
believe it's
tell, I'm
year
on
three.
10. I
I
know.
can't even. Wow.
Yeah, time flies. Time
I know.
flies. Let's get into it, Carly, because what would it be now if yeah, everybody knows when the top 25 comes about, we can get a little critical about it.
Well,
We're fair, but you know, we're content creators. We like to have fun with it. And that's what we're going to start. We're going to get to the AAC right afterwards. But Carly, let's look at the top 25, the preseason poll and NAI softball. Let's run through it real quick. Obviously, no doubt, number one team in the country, Southern Oregon. I
Yeah.
mean, again, yeah, what a year. Well, Ayla Davies, one of the best performances we've ever seen in the NAIA Softball World Series. Oklahoma City, two, then Eastern Oregon, Georgia Gwinnett, Marion, Grandview at six, University of Cumberland's Central Methodist, University of Science and Arts, and Oregon Tech rounding out the top 10. Then you have Midland, Our Lady of the Lake, LSUA, Madonna, and Reinhardt, 11 through 15. Missouri Baptist, Northwestern, St. Thomas, and Southeastern, Paris Sun Conference schools at 18 and 19. Then Indiana, Wesleyan, Hope International, Texas A&M, Texarkana, St. Xavier, Rio Grande, and the Evangel Valor rounding out the top 25. Carly, what's your hottest take about the top 25, or do you think pretty good?
I think it's pretty good. There's a
I
couple.
agree.
You're gonna touch on one. I think mine that I kind of like the most is I think Cumberland's does belong in the top 10, more specifically the seven spot. There was some offseason madness that we kind of touched on there. Dilly moving on to a D1 and Bruce up and leaving for that spot in Cumberland's. They lose a lot of talent. They lose Carly Oliver, Bailey Turnbow, the Gaynor twins. But Bruce is gonna cook. He's got Grace Ross coming with him from Olu. He's got a couple other girls coming. I think Bruce is still gonna be right there where the Pats were last year.
Yeah, actually just talked with our guy, Coach Bruce Lennington, before we hopped on, and I mean he said, I mean, this is the best Grace Ross has looked, and that's saying something. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree that they lost a lot, new coach, but I think seven, that's a fair spot for them. Obviously disappointing a little bit last year for the Pats going 0 and 2 in the World Series. But my big one, Carly, it's a team that I got to see in the opening round last year when I was up at the beautiful campus of the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, who were the one seed, and I saw the five seed, or were they the two seed? And Madonna was the one, whatever. Uh, anyways,
Eh.
I saw the Reinhardt Eagles as a five seed become the first five seed in NAIA softball history to make the World Series. They go to the World Series, they lose 1-0 to Eastern Oregon, finishes number three overall. We're not going to open up that can of worms. If you're new, just know we were very high on the Mounties all year
Yeah, we
last year.
were.
We're going to leave it at that. What happened in 25 can stay in 25. But yeah, was super impressed. They lose 1-0. Hey, you got blanked by Kylie Parsons. Guess what? Welcome to the Degum Club. And then they lose 3-1 to Southern Oregon and Ayla Davies. Again, welcome to the club. The one run was a
Yep.
solo shot. Kira Lightheart, who is no longer there. But other than that, almost that entire team comes back. And that being said, they're sitting at number 15 with one, two, three, four, five teams that were not in the World Series ahead of them. I don't like that.
I think
I'm
it's a
not
little
just saying
crazy.
that because this is an AAC podcast. I don't think they should be at number 15. I think they should, at the very least, you can put them at 11 or 12, but probably most likely deserve to be in that top 10 because, again, it would be one thing if they were losing a ton of production. They are not. And they bring back one of the best pitchers, not only in the AAC or in the Southeast, but in the entire NAI. And that leads me to my first Reagan hot take question of the year, Carly. When I look at this, I was watching it this morning, and I mean, it's just one of those things. My mind could just boom, could just, I see something. I see. I love brackets and I love rankings because I can just see things. Carly Fitzer, gun to your head right now.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
hands up. All right.
Okay.
I know for a fact the four teams that are going to be playing on Monday in Columbus, the final four, pretty much. I got it narrowed down to two groups of four teams. Would you take one through four in the NAI preseason top 25, that being Southern Oregon, Oklahoma City, Eastern Oregon, and Georgia Gwinnett? Or would you take 13 through 16 LSU, Madonna, Reinhardt, and Missouri Baptist?
For fun, I want to say LSUA, Madonna, Reinhardt, and Mobap, but knowing how the Cascade is, McSpadden and the Grizzlies, I mean, they always find their way there on Monday, but my gut wants me to pick 13 through 16.
My I was the same way. My gut immediately said LSUA and Madonna, and I stopped right there just because I think they brought in the two best players in the NAIA. We'll get into that later. We've got the WAC and the Red River to cover later on, but they both brought in Division One pitchers. Wolverton heading to her hometown in Madonna. Got Laney Bailey at LSUA. You have Reinhardt and Missouri Baptist who bring back arguably, and not even arguably, undoubtedly some of the most production that they had in very,
Hmm.
very good teams last year. But I flinch. I flinch when I look across the diamond, if you will, and I see Cat Islandberg, who's always in Columbus, like you said.
Yep.
I mean, every year that we've covered it together, or you played in it, they were there.
Yep.
Eastern Oregon, what a year last year. Now, I'll get into it in a second. Nicole Christian, a lot of respect. I think she did a phenomenal job last year. Oklahoma City, the Godfather himself, Phil McSpadden. How dare anybody pick against him? And then the queen of NAIA softball right now, period. I mean, if this is Game of Thrones, if this is game of NAIA softball thrones, she is wearing the crown. It's Jessica Pistol. How
Yeah.
do you pick against that? Here's why, and it's why I had my little hesitation there with Eastern Oregon. Boy, there's a lot of names that are no longer there for all of those teams.
Yep.
Lot of production. And that's why I kind of lean towards that 13 through 16. But the coaching, and this is absolutely no disrespect to Ted Lager at Mobat, to Matthew Wright at Reinhardt, Ron Pizzoni at Madonna, or Trent Partridge at LSUA, four phenomenal coaches. But you look at the list at that 1 through 4, it's hard to pick against. But I'm very high on LSUA and Madonna. Here's a little sneak peek later on. We're not going to do it today. We will give our preseason 10 to Columbus. I'll go ahead and tell you LSUA and Madonna. There's two free scratch offs for you. I got those two teams right there. But okay, Carly, let's get into this. The AAC, Appalachian Athletic Conference last year, Reinhardt and Johnson both in the opening round last year. Obviously, we know what Reinhardt did. Let's start. Let's start with Player of the Year, Carly. Who do you have as the Player of the Year in the AAC this year?
I went with Madison Thacker Wolf. She was a freshman last year for the Johnson Royals. In that campaign, she hit 437, had 47 RBIs, 18 extra base hits, and a handful of stolen bases. I don't know. I think she's gonna have a breakout sophomore year. I don't think the sophomore slump's gonna be a problem for her, and I think she'll give she'll give some people a run for their money.
Yeah, last year we gave you Johnson around this time last year. We said, hey, watch out for this Johnson team. It's an opening round caliber team. Coach Dana Carter did not disappoint. I like it. And honestly, that was where my mind went first as well. No, that's your typical 18-year-old freshman, took a little bit of time off and then has come back. I'm not sure her exact age, but still, it's not like she had that 18-year-old, mentality stepping
Hmm.
into it. I think she takes another step forward. I completely agree. I could see her being north of 450, north of 50 RBIs, could be a 25 to 30 extra base hit kind of player. It's a great pick. I want to go with another one that really broke onto the scene as a youngster, as a freshman last year, and is part of a very talented sophomore class there in my home state of Georgia. Ava Moon, second baseman for Brenau last year. She was an NAI All-American, racked up 80 hits, 30 stolen bases, had a 500 batting average and 17 doubles. I think she can build on that in a talented group in Brenau. We're going to talk a little bit more about as we go on. I like Ava Moon. Give me Ava Moon for my player of the year in the AAC.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick too. It's between that and Ainsley Hyde of Reinhardt. There's a good handful to choose from.
Yeah, there's plenty in the AAC. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. No, I think you just said height, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
She
okay,
won
okay,
it
okay,
last
okay.
year.
Yeah. All right, that was my other one. Yeah, I mean, could definitely go there. I will go to Reinhardt though for my pitcher of the year, not only in the AAC. I think this is an NAIA All-American level pitcher. Ansley Pettit, 20 and 4 last year, 1.14 ERA, 171 strikeouts and 153 innings. I got to be right behind home plate and watch her just carve up some really good lineups up in Marion, Indiana, and in Columbus. I mean, she went toe to toe with what I would say two of the top three, maybe the top two pitchers in NAIA softball last year, Kylie Parsons and Ayla Davies with the Oregons. Again, I mean they lost those two games with the number one and number three overall team in the World Series last year by a combined 3 runs. Yeah, 1-0 and 3-1. So I think she's going to step up. Look, her east west stuff is phenomenal. Really good, able to control the bottom of the zone, and when she's able to get strikes in that bottom third of the zone and touching it off the black, Carly, she's really is one of the best pitchers in the NAIA. She was solid at Georgia Southern first year at Reinhardt. Really good. I'm really excited to see what Matthew Wright brings in general for the Eagles. Obviously, brought in a ton last year. It's one of those things, it's honestly, if you want a Division One comparison, it's kind of like Texas Tech, a team that kind of, has floated around in recent
Hmm.
years, but new coach with a travel ball background sounds pretty familiar. Goes and gets an ace pitcher, sounds kind of familiar, and then ends up going on a little bit of a run. My question though for Reinhardt, Carly, this year, it's can what happens when you face the elite pitching? Because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, congratulations, you made it, but we saw what happened when you face the elite pitching. It's like, okay, they're not quite ready for that. Can they take that step forward? That's my big question for Reinhardt this year.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to pick Ainsley Pettit. Obviously, got to be a little bit different from you. But I do really like the looks of Lindy Weber, again, of Johnson. I think she could have a breakout year this year as well. Had a 1.87 ERA last year, went 18 and 6, 146 innings pitched and 129 strikeouts. Um, I like the look of Lindy Weber. They got another great pitcher behind her as well in Alyssa Nicely. A little bit less innings pitched, but I think the brunt of the work is going to go to Lindy Weber.
Gotcha. Hey, we're all knocking a little bit of rust off. That's
Hmm.
what, yeah. Um, Okay, breakout player, Carly. Well, should say great. I agree. That's a number two. I got a couple though,
Yeah.
from Columbia International to watch out for. Watch out for the Rams. They've
I
got a
I
really good
almost
little
picked one from
1-2.
Columbia too.
Yeah, I mean, Abby Reagan last year, 207 ERA, 88 Ks, and 108 and a third. And Izzy Davis was just as good as a number two, 2.65, 70 Ks and 116 innings. I mean, girls can go get you some strikeouts. Very solid and in a good league there in the AAC. I mean, I like Columbia International, but we'll talk a little bit about more about them here in just a second. Carly, your breakout player in the 2026 Appalachian Athletic Conference.
Yep, I went with Tatum Massengale of Tennessee Wesleyan as a sophomore year, had a very solid year, 371, 24 RBIs, 11 doubles, and she tallied 36 hits in a very competitive AAC conference. I think junior year she's going to hit it in stride, maybe bump those numbers up a little bit and have a breakout junior year.
I'm gonna go with a new face for everybody to just go ahead and get used to from Bryan College. Give me Kendall Mason, JUCO transfer from Walters State. We've seen Walters State transfers come in and have success in the NAIA the last couple of years. For Walters State last year, batted 375, 7 Jimmys, 42 ribeye steaks, put on the grill, 13 bags, sold in 52 games. Man, that's not bad at all, Carly.
No, that's those are very solid numbers. I'd love to see what she'll do for Brian.
Yeah, looking trying to find there was one more down at right now. Here we go. Oh yeah, Emily Pettit, outfielder for Reinhardt, younger sister of
Yeah.
Ansley. I mean, why not?
I wanted to pick her, but they have so many people coming back. I don't know. We'll see.
I like it. I like it. All right, Carly. My surprise team, sticking with Brian. I'm gonna go with Brian, and here's why. I think Brian can build an opening round resume before the season before conference play even starts. This team that almost won 30 games last year, went 29 and 14, 19 and 6 in the conference. They opened with a doubleheader. Hopefully I'll be able to get to. It's in my backyard. Southeastern. It's a doubleheader on February 6th. They also have Georgia Gwinnett and Tennessee Southern. We saw Tennessee Southern make it to the final in Fayette. Yeah, they were in Fayette.
Hmm.
They beat LSUA, fell to Central Methodist and that regional. So UT Southern, who's been steadily building up over the last couple of years. Yeah, watch out for Georgia Gwinnett and UT Southern. That's a team I we'll wait till the Southern States. I'm
Yeah.
pretty high. They may fall in that. I don't know if I'm quite ready. Last year we nailed it. We nailed Johnson and we nailed Evangel being some breakout teams.
Mhm.
Watch out. I think UT Southern could fall in that category, but that's for another day. But yeah, Brian, I mean 29 and 14 last year, like I said, great success in the AAC. And like I said, I mean they go in. If you can go in 4 of 6 there, you go 4-2 in that Southeastern Gwinnett UT Southern little tie right there. I mean, I think you're looking at a team that's built up a pretty good resume before they've even played a conference game.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I went with Bree now, 34 and 16 last year, 18 and 10 in conference. Lot of young players in the circle last year, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomore. But a seemingly experienced lineup will be returning. I think that will do great for them. I think that those pitchers will come in a little bit more experienced, a little settled down in the circle. Um, they have less of a gauntlet for as Brian in the preseason, but um, I don't know. Could be saving themselves for conference play, but I'm gonna go with Bree now on this one.
I like it. Bernal, they beat Johnson to force the if game in the AAC tournament last year. Obviously, Johnson went on to win the tournament. Reinhardt, though, Carly, they were the regular season champions in the AAC last year. I would probably say they are the favorite heading into this year to repeat as regular season champs. Do you agree, or do you like a little bit of a shakeup here?
I agree. I agree. I did want to go for the shakeup, but I mean, with Reinhardt returning all that talent, I think it's hard for them to drop that in the regular season. Tournament time though, it's
Yeah,
up
yeah,
in the air.
yes, we saw it. I mean, anything can happen. Johnson winning it last year as the four or five seed, a 4 seed, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I like Brian. Brian, I don't. I think it's hard to say Brian as a surprise team. Maybe they did finish second in the conference last year, but just kind of coming into this year, I feel like it's a heavy. If I'm putting money on teams, I'm probably putting it on Reinhardt first and then Johnson second. So yeah, I mean, Brunel, Brian, two good surprise teams. But yeah, I like. Reinhardt, and what this really comes down to me, Carly, is if Ansley stays healthy and she's throwing her best stuff, I don't know if there's a lineup where I'm like, I'm a little worried about it. Now, could be wrong, no disrespect to
Yeah.
to other ones, but I truly think she can be a sub 1 ERA kind of pitcher heading in to the postseason. All right, let's look
Yeah.
at some games to watch though, Carly. Non-conference games to watch. I got two that I love. Spoke about Brian playing Southeastern, which I'm excited about on Friday, February 6th. Day after that, though, February 7th, Reinhardt, Southeastern, top 20 matchup is going to be number 15, Reinhardt, number 19, Southeastern. Both teams, there's a lot on the line early in the season, chance to build up that resume, fired up for that one, obviously. And then Georgia Gwinnett, Reinhardt, Battle of the Peach State as Lulu. Hello, Lulu. Sorry to play in the background. I see you. Yeah, I'm excited for those. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm not going to talk about Reinhardt anymore. But yeah, Southeastern and Gwinnett, we know it's going to be good pitching in both those games. So we get to see what Reinhardt's lineup has done in the offseason to what they can do now against some good pitching early in the year.
Yeah. And then I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, Brian and Georgia Gwinnett on February 17th. Um, I think that's going to be another good one. Like you said, they're putting together a pretty hefty preseason run, preseason schedule. And another one I picked was Reinhardt and Coastal Georgia, two teams that had Coastal Georgia had a pretty good year last year in the Sun Conference. Excited to see what they can be this year.
Yeah, Coastal bringing back a ton of talent. Obviously, hey, look, let's just lay it all out there. Everybody knows I'm a Sun Conference guy. I'm working for the Sun Conference now, so there's a little bit more of that. Here's my promise to everybody. Last year, there's multiple times I picked two Sun Conference teams to be in the World Series. I'm not doing it this year. I won't let it happen. But if I do it, just know I really believe it. Conference games to watch, Carly. I'm gonna let you pick the obvious one here, but I'm gonna go a week before that and go to March 20th. Columbia International versus Bernal. Rams got a good pitching staff. I already mentioned that. I already talked a lot about these teams. Watch out for it. I like it a lot. Not only that, it's a big weekend for the Rams I might honestly change my surprise team to Columbia International, just because I think that would be more of a surprise than the team that finished second in the conference. So change that one for me real quick. Give me Columbia International as my surprise team because I don't think it's fair to pick the team that finished second in the conference. And Brian, sorry, Brian, but I'll take Columbia International. But not only this is a huge weekend for them. They got Brunel on the Friday game, the 20th. And then in the Saturday doubleheader, they have Reinhardt before Reinhardt has a big one the next weekend against the team you're about to talk about, Carly. So watch out. That third weekend in March for the Rams is going to be a massive one.
Yeah. And then that team you were briefing up on there, Johnson, Reinhardt versus Johnson on March 27th. Pettit versus Lindy Weber. Very solid lineups between the two. I think those are going to be the top two teams in the conference, in my opinion. So I think that game is going to be really pivotal there.
I love it. Okay, let's see. Last question. Carly, how many teams from the AAC are going to make it to the opening round this year?
I'm going to be confident in three. I think Reinhardt and Johnson for sure. And then it's up to that last spot to either be Brian, Bree or Columbia International. I wouldn't be. I think the biggest surprise would be Columbia International, but if that happened, I also wouldn't be surprised because you look at some of that talent that they've got there.
Truett McConnell as well. They finished what, sixth in the conference this year or last year. Fill out those questionnaires, y'all. It helps us out a whole lot. I know that they do bring back some pretty good production in the lineup. Cassie Boatwright, she had 9 home runs. That was one of the tops in the AAC last year. So solid bat there in the middle of the lineup for Coach. Dylan does a really good job in Georgia for Truett McConnell. I know they're going to want a little bit of revenge. They went 0 and 2, 2 1-run losses in the tournament last year after finishing with 20 plus conference wins, Carly.
Yeah. Only thing I see from them is they do lose Kendall Gibson in the circle, but they did have freshman Elizabeth Bennett last year who had some innings under her belt. So looking to see what she can do for them in the circle this year.
Yeah, and also Milligan. They got a new coach, Cassie Fronter. So, yep. Yeah, one other team I want to throw in the mix just 'cause we haven't talked about it. And this is going to be the unfortunate part about how we're doing it this year is, I mean, not going team by team. We're going to miss some teams. So I'm going to do my best and get a go win in 2026. I promise we won't talk about you. But I like Spartanburg Methodist, 23-17 last year. Got some good players coming back, including a third baseman named Lydia Falk, batted 319
Yep.
last year. We haven't really talked about Montreat. Not really sure from their end what they've got coming back. Didn't get a questionnaire back from them. But this is a team that was building. Remember, your last year playing, our first year, it was Taylor and I doing it. This was I think they won like 9 or 10 games. Corbin Weeks comes in. They immediately become a winning team with a winning record. He's now at
Hmm.
New College of Florida down in Sarasota. Very excited what he's going to do down there. But what kind of happens with them and can they make any kind of noise? But yeah, just watch out. I can see Spartanburg Methodist that they could possibly be another team that's solid. Also have Kyla Quills, who is second team all conference coming back. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like those two for sure, Reinhardt and Johnson. If you tell me I can't pick three, it's either got to be two or four. I'm going to say it's just going to be those two. But reason I could be completely wrong about that. I mean, I already said, Brian, you got a tough non-conference. Go 4-2, 5-1, and I think if you can just do what you did last year in conference play, you should have a pretty good chance of making it
Yeah.
into the NAIA postseason. Carly, that wasn't a bad first episode. Back in business.
You know
Rock
what? I
and
feel
rolling.
pretty darn good.
I feel pretty good. Got the type 1 diabetes Barbie behind you, rocking and rolling.
Yep. Yep.
Love it. I love it.
Inclusion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's so great to be back. Love it. Again, we'll be live on Urban Edge Network, 9 a.m. Mondays and Thursdays, all throughout the season. Obviously, until we get to the season, we'll be doing these conference previews. May bleed a little bit into the season as well with some of our later conferences like the Sun Conference and the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. But of course, all the ones coming up, we'll have the AMC, the Cascade, the Crossroads, and we're having some interviews. We'll reach out get some coaches, maybe some administrators on as well. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Reagan Harold. That's Carly Fitzer. Thank you so much. God bless. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Monday.